Acting President. Seated before you are the faculty, alumni, degree candidates, and honored guests of the university, assembled for the annual commencement marking Columbia's 271st academic year. The successful conclusion of this ceremony will mark your official conferring of degrees on our graduates. With your permission, Madam Acting President, exercises will now begin. Please stand, if you are able, for the vocal performance of the National Anthem by Frederick Thomas Lee and the American Sign Language performance by Janice Remler.
I'm using her umbrella.
Can I ask you to do a favor? Can you just hold this for 30 seconds, just like that? All right, thank you.
Lift Every Voice and Sing by Joki Solelo Tiaga, Columbia College, class of 2027, and the American Sign Language performance
I'm just trying to
Sheeta
use
Grant,
the camera.
Teachers College, class of 2025.
You're good.
Sing And now, please welcome the acting president of the university, Claire Shipman.
Welcome to Columbia on this momentous occasion, this celebration of our 271st academic year, and to our nearly 16,000 soon-to-be graduates. Are you ready to get your degrees? Before I share very brief thoughts with you, given the rain, I want to say a few words to the parents who are out there and families and loved ones here today. One of our most beloved graduates and faculty members was philosopher and poet Erwin Edmund, who helped to create the core curriculum. He wrote eloquently about something that we are all experiencing today. What it feels like to take satisfaction and pride in the accomplishments of children other than one's own. Other people's children, he wrote, are born at about 16 or 17 years old. One learns to enjoy them for the promise and the charm and the hope that they embody, and to further as best one can, I gotta do this, while they are still within one's orbit, what is best in them. Parents and families, we have not known them as long as you have, but we have had the privilege of meeting your young stars in our classrooms, eager to explore new interests and ideas, brilliant and accomplished. Our spectacular faculty here have undeniably furthered what is best within them, their idealism, their curiosity, their ability to ask the right questions, and their ability to answer them to your benefit and to the world's. Families, you have given us a gift. Thank you. And graduates, it is time to give the world your gifts. So with that, let me turn to you, the nearly 16,000 graduates of the Columbia class of 2025. You are the best of us. Our youngest graduate just turned 20 this week, and our oldest was born in 1948. More than 125 of you served the United States in uniform. Thank you. You hail from all 50 of the United States, plus DC and Puerto Rico, and more than 6,800 of you represent 141 countries outside of the United States. And let me say, we are glad you chose to be here. We need you, and we draw strength from our identity as a global institution. And let me also say that we firmly believe that our international students have the same rights to freedom of speech as everyone else, and they should not be targeted by the government for exercising that right. And let me also say that I know many in our community today are mourning the absence of our graduate, Mahmoud Khalil. You are lawyers, you are linguists, philosophers, you are physicians, masters of business and fine arts and public health. You've been named Marshall Scholars, Fulbright Scholars, I guess that's public health. Marshall Scholars, Fulbright Scholars, and Truman Scholars won National Science Foundation awards. And you've been crowned champions on the field of play, from women's basketball to men's basketball, women's fencing, to tennis, to an Ivy League championship in football. There was a time in my life where you'd get laughed at if you said Columbia Strong Sports School. You have already made history. Some of you are well on your professional paths. Some are just beginning to see the shape your path may take. That's who you are, and you are something else as well. You are exactly what the world needs at this moment. Not simply because you happen to be graduates of the greatest institution in the world, that helps of course, but also because the most resilient, Visionary, innovative leaders are forged in times of challenge and change, and you have already navigated your way through considerable turbulence. I want to offer one observation, given the rain, to keep in mind as you step out into this world, which is this: democracy is not inevitable. When I left Columbia and began a career in journalism, in a period of sweeping change not unlike this one, I arrived in Moscow in time to experience the final years of an authoritarian state. Censorship was rampant. There were no open forums where you could say what you want, like people here have the right to do, and test your ideas against the arguments of others. The only place that was safe was late at night in private apartments and with enormous caution. There was nothing, in fact, that made me appreciate our country more than spending time in the former Soviet Union. When it all collapsed, not only did a country fall, but so did its monuments. I remember vividly the graveyards littering the Capitol, full of concrete remnants of Stalin, Lenin, Felix Dzerzhinsky, the infamous KGB boss, ripped down with cranes and even bare hands by a frustrated population, disillusioned with ideology and idolatry. It was clear to us, the Western reporters, and to everyone in the West, what would come next: democracy. It would just spread naturally. Of course, we all know now, it didn't take, not in Russia, not in China after Tiananmen Square, not in parts of Eastern Europe. Democracy, it turns out, is work to build and to maintain. Our norms and our systems cannot be taken for granted. They don't transplant easily, they don't simply spread, they have to be nurtured and repaired over and over. And this is not always glamorous work, it is not easy. But identifying which institutions and rights will need to be secured, what will need to be reimagined for democracy to thrive, this is the essential work of your generation, and you have the wisdom and the moral clarity to do it. In my view, for example, nothing is more foundational to democracy, to American strength, than freedom of thought, the training of minds, and the unfettered creation and exploration of knowledge. Academic institutions like ours, and even this moment right now, they're pillars of a healthy, functioning, democratic nation. They are the basis for American innovation across all disciplines and for our scientific and technological preeminence. They must be protected, and they must also protect themselves by remaining relevant and essential to our current set of challenges. Let me close with a thought from former Columbia President Seth Low. Recently, I was given his 1890 inaugural address as a gift. Low had a distinct view about why Columbians and Columbia will always remain uniquely powerful. It's a view I've always shared, and it was extraordinary to read his take on this 135 years later. Our presence in and relationship with New York means we are thinkers and we are also doers. We are not sheltered physically or intellectually. I quote, "It means for every one of us there is no such thing as the world of letters apart from the world of men." He went on to say that the greatest scholars are people who, quote, "see humanity as in a vision beckoning to them from behind their books." You have closed the books for now, and humanity beckons. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2025.
The provost of the university, Angela Olenta, will now present the candidates for degrees honoris causa. Please hold your applause until all citations have been read.
Madam Acting President, I have the honor to present
Darren Walker as the recipient of the degree of Doctors of Laws, honoris causa. Darren Walker, you are responsible for literally redefining the field of philanthropy. Instead of funding projects that merely address inequities, you've used your resources to address the root causes of those inequities. At the Rockefeller Foundation and now at the Ford Foundation, you have thrown yourself into the work of helping to build a better nation. You came to this life after a successful career as a lawyer. From there, you worked in Harlem, focusing on community building and economic development. You wanted to serve those who were invisible to so many, to help them realize their dreams the way you yourself have been able to do. For your empathy, your wisdom, and your ambitions for a just world, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Madam Acting President, although Zvi Galil could not join us in person this morning, we have the honor to award him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Zvi Galil, as an expert in the design and analysis of algorithms, computational complexity, and cryptography, you have been exceptional. As a pioneer in bringing online learning to students from new backgrounds, you have been revolutionary. And as a former dean of Columbia Engineering who transformed it into one of the most competitive and respected engineering schools in the world, where are you, engineering? You have been and remain beloved. Here your efforts live on in the generations of engineers who have benefited from your leadership and mentorship, directly and indirectly. In recognition, the Society of Columbia Graduates awarded you the Great Teacher Award in 2009, while the university established the Zvi Galil Award for Student Life. For your groundbreaking work, both on this campus and beyond, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, and I know he's watching this now, so congratulations, Steve. Madam Acting President, I have the great honor to present Claudia Golden for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
But for like any night?
You have to get the brand, but that's a good size for like birds and animals.
Right.
Yeah, because you have to be pretty far away.
I know.
Claudia Golden, your path-breaking work as an economist has transformed how we think about women in the labor force, the gender gap in earnings, income inequality, and so much more. An investigator by temperament and talent, you made your brilliant discoveries by delving into underexplored topics and asking new questions. The results speak for themselves. You are the first woman to receive tenure in the Harvard Economics Department. And you are the first woman to be awarded a solo Nobel Prize in economics. Tirelessly, you have worked to increase the representation of women in your own profession, spawning generations of economists who are happily in your debt. For a lifetime of scholarship and research that has expanded, liberated, and modernized the study of economics, Columbia is proud to present this Bronx native with the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Madam Acting President, I have the honor to present
Barney Graham for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
What did it say right before that? Oh, perpetuated. Yeah, perpetuated. Instated.
Barney Graham,
I didn't know that.
when COVID-19 hit, your long-standing work on coronaviruses quite literally changed the trajectory of the pandemic. Building on years of your research, you collaborated with Moderna to create, manufacture, and administer a candidate mRNA vaccine only 65 days after the sequence of the virus was released. Your data also enabled Pfizer and BioNTech to develop their own vaccine. The end result? At least 14 million lives saved in the vaccine's first year alone. Before COVID-19, you were best known for your groundbreaking work on vaccines for RSV and MERS, which for anyone else would have been career-defining. For your lifelong work in the service of human health, and for your more recent efforts to stop the spread of an unprecedented global pandemic, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Madam Acting President, I have the honor to commemorate the late Daniel Kahneman with the posthumous degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
To celebrate Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman is to honor a brilliant, insightful, and kind scholar who forever changed the way we think about what it means to be human. Professor Kahneman devoted his life to asking challenging questions. He delighted in debating people who held opposing views. He refused to be penned in by existing wisdom, particularly his own. His contributions to the field of behavioral economics, which he helped to create, are legendary. Kahneman upended conventional wisdom about human decision-making. His famous work with Amos Tversky revealed the extent to which biases, perceptions, and memories undercut our ability to make rational judgments. Their groundbreaking research made clear how much work we need to do if we want better outcomes for ourselves and for society. In tribute to his extraordinary life and career, which affected so many here, Columbia posthumously honors Daniel Kahneman with the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
The acting president of the university will now present the Presidential Award for Outstanding Teaching. The professors and instructors will stand as their names are announced. Please hold your applause until all recipients have been recognized.
With the deepest admiration, we recognize these professors and graduate student instructors selected by the campus community for this honor, for their sustained excellence in teaching and their remarkable dedication to the intellectual development of their students. Helen DePino, George Dragomir, Anna Maria Kelly, Yumiko Shimabukuro, Tamara Hashe, Sherman Coe, and Kelsey Reeder.
Congratulations, faculty.
The Provost will now present the Faculty Mentoring Award and the Faculty Service Award. Each professor will stand as their name is announced.
The Faculty Mentoring Award recognizes senior faculty who have demonstrated an exceptional commitment to faculty mentoring through their work with tenure track and mid-career faculty in developing their careers. With our deepest admiration, we recognize a professor selected by her peers for this award for her exceptional commitment to faculty mentorship, and career development for tenure track and mid-career faculty. Kathleen McEwen. Where is she? Congratulations, Kathleen. There she is. Excellent. After the umbrellas. All right. The next award is the Faculty Service Award. Recognizes a full-time faculty whose extraordinary and creative voluntary service has contributed significantly to the university's inclusion and belonging efforts. With deepest admiration, we recognize this professor selected by her peers for this award, Jacqueline Taylor.
The acting president of the university will present the alumni medalists. Each alumnus will stand as their name is announced.
The Alumni Medal is the highest award bestowed by the Columbia Alumni Association in recognition of distinguished service and commitment to the university. I am pleased to recognize the Alumni Medal recipients for their extraordinary dedication to Columbia. Reed Arbach, Albert Berger, Courtney Nicole Chesari, Eric Holder, Maya Kuo, James Lipton, and Ariel Milo, John Mullerby, Lena Papalexopoulou, and Rich Richmond. Congratulations.
The provost of the university will present the administrative officers of the various divisions of the university, who will in turn introduce the candidates for degrees in course within their respective groups. The candidates will rise as they are introduced.
Madam Acting President, it is my great pleasure to present Joseph Soret, Dean of the College of Columbia College.
Madam Acting President, seated before you are the 1,351 graduates of the Columbia College class of 2025 who with resilience and an indomitable spirit have completed all of the requirements for the bachelor degree of the Bachelor of Arts as prescribed by Columbia College and the faculty who teach therein. They have pursued their curiosity and intellectual passions, demonstrating the requisite subject knowledge in the arts, humanities, natural sciences, and social sciences, while also taking full advantages of the resources of our campus, New York City, and the world. They participated in the shared process of intellectual and social inquiry and brought their unique perspectives to bear on it as they absorbed the lessons of and also breathed new life into the core curriculum. This, their unique intellectual heritage as Columbia College students. Truly, they have both mastered the canon and critiqued the very idea of such mastery. They have acquired focused expertise in their selected majors and concentrations across the arts and sciences, all too many to enumerate here, and all the while grappling with the perennial questions that shape our society. They have no doubt seen more than their share of trials and tribulations, yet they have found time to hone their seasonal skills in football, ultimate frisbee, soccer, and spike ball on the South Lawn, while also making room to lunch and lounge on Low Beach. Accordingly, They arrive today well prepared for life as engaged citizens in our complex and rapidly changing world. And while I am charged to speak for them, the graduates of Columbia College have shown repeatedly their collective roar commands our attention. Madam President, as a fellow graduate of Columbia College class of 1986, I implore you, indeed I beg that you grant them this degree, along with the rights and privileges thereto attached, to which they are rightfully entitled.
Acting President, it is my great pleasure to present Shi-Fu Chen, Dean of the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science.
Madam Acting President, before you stand amazing, inventive, and endless inspiring candidates of the faculty of Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. The Columbia Engineering class of 2025. The future is here in the form of more than 1,800 talented students who are waving their engineering hammers before you today. These graduates are putting AI in context, advancing women's health, developing better batteries and optics, engineering bacteria for cancer therapy, accelerating the development of fusion energy and quantum computing, improving climate projections, and building cities that are safer and more sustainable. At Columbia, our graduates have raced electric cars and sent payloads to space, built robots that clean ponds in the parks, engineer without borders, pitch ideas for startup companies, showcase capstone projects, and they have made everything you can think of in a maker space. They have even raised boats in the Uris pool. These fantastic problem solvers, critical thinkers, and visionary creators will be the best ambassador for our Engineering for Humanity vision. Mr. President, as all together this student before you are ready to power on and scale up. Each of these candidates have completed a rigorous requirement for the degree of a Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, Master of Philosophy, Doctor of Engineering Science, and Doctor of Philosophy, prescribed by the faculty of the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science. They are engineers for humanities. I urge you to grant them this degree with all the responsibility, rights, and privilege attached. Seize the World 2025.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Laura Ann Rosenberry, President of Barnard College.
Madam Acting President, before you stand the candidates of Barnard College who have completed the requirements prescribed by the Barnard faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. They are bold, They are brilliant, and they are more than prepared to lead. Today, they join a global community of Barnard alumni, nearly 40,000 strong. May they always know each other by their wit, their grit, and of course, for their shared fondness of 800-foot subs. Madam, please grant these candidates degrees along with the rights and privileges thereto attached. Thank you.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Lisa Rosen-Match, Dean of the General Studies School.
Madam Acting President, I am honored to present to you the highly accomplished, amazing candidates of the Columbia School of General Studies Class of 2025. These candidates hail from 68 countries. We are so proud that the class of 2025 comprises almost 100 veterans of the U.S. Armed Services, one of the largest cohorts ever to graduate from an Ivy League university since World War II, holding their wise owls. Our GSers bring remarkable journeys to Columbia, from ballet to biology, the Navy to neuroscience, the runway to religion, the Marines to mathematics, and from community college to the core curriculum. Among them are candidates from our distinguished dual and joint degree programs with Bliss College at JTS, Sciences Po, Trinity College Dublin, City University of Hong Kong, and Tel Aviv University. Many have triumphed over adversity, and many are the first in their families to go to college. Our GS students follow the untraditional path, complement life experience with the intellectual abilities, and make Columbia truly unique and the Columbia undergraduate classroom like no other. Madam Acting President Shipman, these candidates have completed the requirements as prescribed by their faculty for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. As the first and proud alumna dean of this exceptional school, please grant them the degree along with the rights and privileges thereto attached. Go GS!
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Troy J. Eggers, Dean of the School of Professional Studies.
Dear Madam Acting President, with reverence and rejoicing, I rise to present the radiant, resolute, and remarkably resilient candidates of Columbia's School of Professional Studies, Class of 2025. These graduates have journeyed through pages and problems, late nights and long lectures, forging wisdom from workload and purpose from pressure. They are scholars and strivers, innovators and interpreters of our age, fluent in complexity, fearless in challenge, and forged in the fire of ambition. They have studied while working, worked while parenting, and parented while pitching brilliant ideas to peers and professors alike. They have not merely met expectations, they have mastered them. With minds sharpened by study and spirits strengthened by striving, they stand poised to serve a world that sorely needs their insight, their integrity, and their indomitable kindness. Having fulfilled all requirements as prescribed by the learned Faculty of Professional Studies for the degree of Master of Science and Master of Professional Studies, Madam Acting President, with both formality and fervor, I beseech you, confer upon these worthy candidates degrees they have so nobly earned, and grant them the rights, privileges, and profound responsibilities that follow.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Sarah Cole, Dean of the School of the Arts.
એક કામ કરો તો નીકળી જાઓ આપણે
There they are. Madam Acting President, before you stand the candidates for the School of the Arts who have completed the requirements prescribed by that faculty for the degrees of Master of Fine Arts or Master of Arts. These students have earned their degrees by every possible measure. They have worked truly tirelessly and have produced invigorating, beautiful, and transformational works of art and scholarship. Let me tell you, it takes courage to seek out a life in the arts. And these wonderful students who derive from 33 countries and 25 states brim with that courage. They come to our campus each day, bristling with the greatest vitality, conviction, and vision. They are storytellers. They are makers. They have the powerful capacity to reflect reality back to us, but newly. They are professionals who have learned crafts that will set them up in their industries, and indeed they are already active in those fields. While they have also spent their time at Columbia fostering their greatest gift, their creative imaginations. Graduates in the School of the Arts, we could not be prouder of you. You are filmmakers, theater artists, visual and sound artists, creative writers, and film scholars of the first order. The world needs artists, and it needs you now. You will be there to entertain us, to uplift us, to challenge us, and to allow us to rediscover our own humanity. Artists have always led the way in changing how people see and think, and their profound impact carries forward for years and for centuries. Congratulations on the remarkable art and scholarship you have already forged here at Columbia, and on all that you will do to enhance and improve our world as the artists of the future. Madam President, I therefore urge you to grant these wonderful students their degrees, along with the rights and privileges thereto attached. Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Karen Yardi-Millo, Dean of the School of International and Public Affairs.
Alumni Network.
Madam Acting President, it is my great honor to present the amazing candidates from the School of International and Public Affairs class of 2025. They have fulfilled the rigorous requirements for the degrees of Masters of International Affairs and Masters of Public Administration. They represent more than 70 countries and territories, a truly global cohort. They are problem solvers and policy shapers. They
came to see but to understand the world and to change it. They've tackled the hardest questions of our time: how to defend democracy, confront climate change, harness technology responsibly, promote inclusive growth, and build a more just and equitable society. They are amazing. Their passion, their curiosity, their drive to make a difference, and their determination to test theory against real-world complexity. They have inspired all of us. Madam President, I am begging you, let them go into the world where they can pursue bold ideas and help find solutions to the global challenges we are all facing. Please confer their degrees with all the rights and privileges that come with them. Thank you. Congratulations, Sima.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Melissa Begg, Dean of the School of Social Work.
Madam Acting President, it is my great honor to present to you the newest graduates of the oldest School of Social Work in the country. They stand ready to take their considerable skills, passion, and commitment to support and empower the individuals, families, and communities that they serve. And they have never been more needed than right now. All of them commit to the Social Work Code of Ethics, holding dear the core values of integrity, service, competence, social justice, dignity and worth of every person, and the importance of human relationships. They have a vision for the future, which every member of our society, through equity and opportunity, get their chance. They stand ready to make that vision a reality. I wish to honor this outstanding group of social workers, these champions of social justice and fairness and compassion, borrowing words from the great Maya Angelou. My wish for you is that you continue to be who you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. The effect you have on others' lives is the highest expression of your own. Madam Acting President, the candidates of the School of Social Work have completed the requirements prescribed by that faculty for the degree of Master of Science. I beg you, ma'am, to grant them this degree, along with all the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Dennis Mitchell, Interim Dean of the College of Dental Medicine.
President, it goes without saying that only the most gifted students may enroll in the pre- and postdoctoral programs of the College of Dental Medicine. And I am pleased to share that the candidates of the 2025 graduating class have more than lived up to their promise. Our degree candidates now have the expertise to treat humankind's first and 11th most prevalent non-communicable diseases. That's tooth decay affecting 3.5 billion people worldwide, and periodontitis affecting another 500 million people. Members of the class of 2025 now know all there is to know about pain and have learned to manage it in a variety of ways, even though they have become very attached to their exquisitely sharp toys. The faculty of the College of Dental Medicine has advised me that they can no longer keep up with the class of 2025. They have begged me to persuade you, Madam President, to release them without any further delay. and that you confer the Doctor of Dental Surgery and Master of Science degrees upon these brilliant and determined and indomitable men and women.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Costis McLeod, Dean of the College, the Columbia Business School. I gave you my life. CBS.
Madam Acting President, the candidates of the Faculty of Business have completed the ridiculously complex requirements prescribed by that faculty for the degrees of Masters of Business Administration and Master of Science. These daring and entrepreneurial candidates decided to quit whatever they were doing and arrived at our school from all corners of the world. They embraced change, uncertainty, and in the face of it all, they took on some risk, levered up, and came to school prepared for transformation in order to have impact. They have innovated, engaged, and excelled. They pushed us to do more. They help us to be better. They connected with ideas with their local communities and with each other. More than 230 of them founded or co-founded startup ventures in these 2 years to make the world safer, greener, and more efficient. And more than 440 of them engage in community and nonprofit endeavors, efforts that help to make our neighborhoods more connected, resourceful, and prosperous. We taught them useful tools, and they made these tools meaningful. In a world marked by volatility, these graduates have demonstrated remarkable resilience and vision. While others might see uncertainty as a reason to retreat, this class has shown us that uncertainty creates space for innovation and leadership. They have embraced disruption as an opportunity, and their optimism in the face of global challenges is both refreshing and absolutely necessary. These candidates are agile, curious, determined, innovative, ethical, and socially responsible as they launch into their next journeys. They tackle new challenges and find new solutions. They're builders and they're bridge makers. And over time, they will introduce new ideas, new businesses. Some of them may actually launch entirely new industries. They will innovate, disrupt, and challenge the status quo, and they will change our economy, and in the process, better our society. As many have already begun to do so with purpose and shown us that business can be a powerful force for positive impact in our complex world. They will change our world the way they have changed us. With sincerity, admirations, and very, very great expectations for your future, congratulations, Columbia Business School class of 2025. Madam Acting President, please grant them these degrees along with the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Jelani Carr, Dean of the Columbia Journalism School.
Madam Acting President, We live in complicated times. We are beset by large, pressing questions regarding our economy, climate change, artificial intelligence. More crucially, we need to know just how far the Knicks can take this playoff run. We need answers. We need information. It is our great fortune to have a repository of information on these crucial issues called journalism. We are in the business of finding, verifying, and disseminating the information people need to make informed decisions in their lives. We cannot predict the future of the Knicks, but at our best, our work appears in the nick of time. And it is in service to this cause that we can offer more than 200 dedicated, talented, and ethical reinforcements. The Columbia Journalism School's class of 2025. For our master's students in journalism, they have spent an intense year learning investigative techniques, journalism ethics, and the highest standards of accuracy in reporting. For our doctoral candidates in communications, this moment marks the culmination of an even longer and more demanding course of study, reflecting years of research, teaching, and sustained inquiry into the media systems that shape our world. Madam Acting President, it is for these reasons that I humbly beseech you to grant these candidates of the Master of Science in Journalism, the Master of Arts in Journalism, and the PhD in Communications, the degrees they have earned, along with the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Andres Jaque, Dean of the Graduate School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation.
Madam Acting President, to the left, wearing pink and blue sunglasses, stand the 474 candidates of the Graduate School of Architecture, Planning and Preservation who have completed the requirements prescribed by our faculty. They are wearing sunglasses like me because they are ready to go. Some of them have even brought their luggage with them, and their kids, and dogs, and their electric guitars. Madam Acting President, this is unbelievable. They are already working with the Prime Minister and the people of the Pacific island of Tuvalu, adapting to the rapidly growing sea level rise. They are working with the Midwesterners, building alliances with public pension funds and equity investors to secure the affordability of their homes. They are engaging with our neighbors in the Bronx and Harlem to turn architecture into an agent of care for those facing mental health conditions. They are preventing straw from rice harvest from being burned in India by turning it into a building material so that farming communities reduce their emissions and provide themselves air that is healthier to breathe. At this moment, they are too smart. There is no way we can contain them. And they have made friends all around who are also pushing for them to be out there, impacting the world. And we have new students coming in a few days. Madam Acting President, I beg you to alleviate this huge pressure. Please grant the students these degrees, along with the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Thomas R. Bailey, President of Teachers College.
President, esteemed colleagues, proud families, and fellow warriors of the 2 a.m. submissions and caffeine-fueled resilience, it's my profound honor to present the 2025 graduates of Teachers College, Columbia University, educators, psychologists, health promoters, advocates, and bridge builders who didn't just study theories, they lived them. These are the graduates who translated research into healing, who led workshops in multiple languages, who made space for stories too often unheard, from classrooms in New York to study abroad programs on peace building and education in Costa Rica, where some saw firsthand how access to quality education is not always guaranteed. They've turned lived experience into leadership. They've braved IRB applications, wrestled with APA formatting, and sometimes along the way, taught ChatGPT a thing or two about empathy and maybe even citations. These graduates have mastered not just content but context. They understand that behind every student is a story, behind every client is courage, and behind every breakthrough is a community that believes chance is possible. They're leaving TC not only with degrees but also with purpose. Madam President, I present to you the Teachers College Class of 2025, thinkers, healers, advocates, and above all, hope makers. I request that you grant their degrees along with the rights and privileges attached therein. Thank you to TC 225 grad Ayan Jahanka for writing this statement for me to share with you, with all of you. Congratulations to her, who graduates today with a Master of Arts in Psychology, Counseling, and the Master of Education in Mental Health Counseling. Congratulations, graduates.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Alexis Abramson, Dean of the Columbia Climate School.
Madam Acting President, before you stand the brilliant and courageous students of the Climate School's Class of 2025 in the Climate and Society Master's Degree Program. They arrive from every corner of the planet that they are fighting to protect, and at a moment of unprecedented uncertainty in their field of study. And they are prepared in every way to rise to the challenge that this moment demands. And maybe you can thank them for a little pause in the rain. The Climate School was founded just a few years ago as the very first school in the country dedicated to studying and responding to the myriad of challenges of climate change. And in those years, we have witnessed a steady rise in temperatures, worsening floods and wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and longer droughts. Last year brought the hottest day in recorded history and saw more than 26 million people globally displaced by natural disasters. And yet, carbon dioxide emissions rose, breaking the previous year's all-time high. Our students will continue to fight for our planet because they know that conducting research on climate science and implementing projects that cut carbon emissions, restore ecosystems, and transition to clean energy unlocks powerful benefits. Doing so creates good-paying jobs, reduces pollution, and makes our communities healthier, more resilient, and more just. Our graduates are courageous and relentless, and they defend this planet. They embody the spirit of collaboration and community care that will enable them to press on to strengthen the global innovation ecosystem and deliver critical solutions to meet the existential challenges of our time. I am honored to request that you grant these students, Madam President, the degree of Master in Climate and Society, along with the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Daniel Obetter, Dean of the Columbia Law School.
To our left, as all can see, stand the superb candidates for the degree from the School of Law. A school that is, I dare say, the greatest institution of legal education the world has to offer, or that the world has ever seen. These distinguished scholars come from across the world, and they have completed the rigorous requirements prescribed by the Faculty of Law for the degrees of Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, and Doctor of the Science of Law. They have aced administrative law. They have passed property. They have conquered contracts. And they have trounced torts. They have handled hypotheticals. They have formatted footnotes, and they have deconstructed decisions. And most of all, Madam President, they have embraced excellence. They are peacemakers, they are deal makers, and they are change makers. And I'm very proud to say that they are united in their commitment to the rule of law. And they are guided by the values of our cherished profession. Today we honor them and take great pride in their achievements. And we draw enormous hope from the promise of their impact on our society. I know you will agree that they are worthy of these degrees, Madam President. And I arrogantly demand, without modesty or humility, that you grant these degrees, along with all the rights and privileges thereto attached. Congratulations.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present James McKinney, Interim Dean of the Faculty of the Evangelist College of Physicians and Surgeons.
Madam President, on this special day, the day to celebrate all that Columbia has to offer, I have the distinct honor of presenting the exceptional candidates of the Faculty of Medicine Class of 2025. These individuals that stand before you are brave and determined. They are compassionate and talented. They are curious and strong. They have shown resilience and grit during very challenging times. They've committed themselves to improving human health, curing disease, preventing illness, and alleviating suffering wherever they find it. I can think of no more noble a life than one dedicated to these pursuits. These students of the Vagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons have met the exacting requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Science, Master of Science in Human Nutrition, and Master of Science in Genetic Counseling. As a proud graduate of the Vagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons myself, I am so proud to welcome this brilliant class, if you'll grant them, into our alumni community. They will go on to be leaders in medicine, in surgery, in science, in education, and most importantly, in healing. And the world has never needed them more than they do today. I know they will forge ahead with their enthusiasm and their commitment to providing the best care for each individual patient and equal care to all patients. They will exhibit the highest principles of humanism and professionalism, and I cannot wait to see what they accomplish. And so, Madam President, inspired by the brighter future that these candidates offer, I beseech you to please grant them their degrees, which they richly deserve, along with all the rights and privileges thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Lorraine Frazier.
Have completed the requirements prescribed with the faculty for the degrees of Master of Science, Doctorate of Nursing Practice, and Doctorate of Philosophy. They are the newest Columbia-educated members of the country's most trusted profession. For 24 years, nurses have been rated America's most ethical and honest professionals. These graduates will now join those ranks in caring for the health of the nation as expert practitioners, superb scholars, excellent educators, and thoughtful policymakers, as well as constantly advancing the health care with their scientific mindset, innovative spirit, resilience, and a sense of commitment and compassion. Nurses care. Nurses are trailblazers. Nurses foster social justice and health equity. We pioneer solutions that heal individuals, communities, and populations. Our nation needs more nurses, and I am proud to usher our 2025 graduates into the world where they will continue to serve, advance health for all, and use their skills to strengthen our society and the health of the populace. Madam Acting President, I beg you, please grant them their degrees.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Linda P. Freed, Dean of the Commencement School of Public Health.
Speaking of nurses.
Wait, there's the Graduate School of the Arts and Sciences. Oh yeah, DSHA. They haven't done it.
Madam Acting President, before you stand the candidates of the Maryland School of Public Health who have completed the requirements prescribed by that faculty. for the degrees of Master of Health Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, and Doctor of Public Health. These immensely accomplished candidates are the world's future leaders for the public's health, able to deliver the knowledge and solutions that can raise the floor and the ceiling of health for everyone, everywhere. They are locally grounded, global in capabilities, and visionary to the threats to health of our future. They are diverse, they are kind, and they are the stupendously brilliant candidates of the Mailman School of Public Health. Madam, these candidates, hailing from countries across the globe, are ready to accept their responsibility for 70% of population's health. They should not be detained from their noble mission of improving health and preventing disease throughout the world. Our world needs them. I beseech you, Madam Acting President, to grant them these degrees along with the rights and responsibilities thereto attached.
Madam Acting President, it is my pleasure to present Carlos J. Alonso, Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences.
That's the last one. Yeah. There's a lot. Sorry? There's a lot of them. Yeah. Every single PhD, all the, I guess, PhD program, all of them.
Madam President,
except for the ones in the seats.
Before you stand the candidates of the faculty of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, who have completed the rigorous requirements prescribed by that faculty for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy. You might wonder, ma'am, why the doctoral degrees are always awarded last at each commencement exercise. They are, of course, the highest degrees conferred by this institution, and that is reason enough. But they are also the last because some of the candidates before you were up until dawn this very morning, making that one final edit. Whoever said a scholar's work is never done did not know the half of it. On the way to this magnificent day, these students have discovered that they are doctors but do not heal. They are masters but with no servants. But they totally dominate trivia night at arts and crafts. To me, they are simply masters and doctoral scholars shouldering the burden of being the smartest person in the room, whatever the room. Just don't put two of them together in the same room because I cannot be responsible for the consequences. And glory be, after today, these students will never hear again from their relatives the invidious comparison made at least once at every family gathering that your cousin Ricky is a real doctor and he finished in 4 years. But above all, we want all of the candidates to know that we're so very proud of them for their perseverance, for their hard work, and for the transcendent research they have produced in the end. Hence, I beseech you, ma'am, to grant them today these degrees along with the rights and privileges thereto attached.
And now, will all the candidates for degrees in force please rise for conferring of the degrees by the acting president? Are you ready to graduate? All right. The appropriate academic authorities have determined, and so reported to me, that those students standing before you had satisfactorily completed the course of study prescribed by the faculty under which they have each been enrolled as a candidate for a university degree. In accordance with the authority vested in me as acting president of the university, I now admit each of you to the degree for which you have qualified, in token whereof you will subsequently receive your diploma. Congratulations, graduates.
And now a message from the chair of the Columbia Alumni Association, Lisa Carnoy.
Lisa, we love you! Good morning. I'm Lisa Carnoy, a 1989 graduate of Columbia College, former chair of the University Trustees and current chair of your Columbia Alumni Association, the CAA. I'm here to congratulate you, the class of 25, on your commencement. You are now part of a wonderful global community of over 400,000 bright, talented, and diverse Columbia graduates. Wherever you go in the world next, go forward with the knowledge that there are over 100 Columbia clubs. Just in the past year, I have met with Columbia alumni in St. Louis and Saigon, Miami, and Tel Aviv. What a remarkable community. I hope you will carry Columbia with you as you move through the world and foster connections with your fellow alumni, stay in touch with the university, return to campus, and support the next generation of students. Some of the greatest experience I've had in my life have emerged through my continued connection with our great university, and I hope you will take advantage of the many opportunities to stay involved. There are easy ways to get started. Follow the CAA, your school, and your favorite clubs on the email and social media to stay up to date. Join the CAA LinkedIn group, and in short, take advantage of everything your status as a Columbia graduate confers. You've earned it. As you walk out of the gates today, remember that this is not the end of your Columbia journey, it is the beginning of your life as a Columbia alum. Congratulations again, class of 25. To your Columbia alumni community. We can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
Please rise, if you are able, and join the Crown Quartet in the singing of Stand Columbia. present to you the Columbia University Class of 2025.
We're right next to the narrow, but I'll be here forever. I'm Louis Sinatra. Since I make it here, they love me everywhere. Moving back to that town, into my stash spot, 560 State Street. Between me in the kitchen like a Simmons with pastry. Moving down 8th Street, white Lexus. Driving so slow with BKs from Texas. Me and my big shop, home of that movie. And I live on Billboard. With my boys, we got them up the flat top. My car, cold side hits and it's getting high five. Swipe it out, I can trip around with it. Tell by my attitude that I'm on down with a man. I'll tell you something. Nice. What I need to go. We love that guy. Thank you so much. God be with you. I must say. City is a pity, half of y'all won't make it. Me, I got a blood pressure, but I got it made. Jesus paying the crown, I'm paying for 2020. Made that dream, we cars market. Labor Day parade, rest in peace, Bob Market. Back to the liberty, long live the cross, long live the kingdom. I'm the Empire State now. Just get out, city of sin, if the penny on the rim, good girls will laugh, the city filled with them. Mommy took a bus trip, now she got a bus out. Everybody loud her, just like a bus out. You know, never to the city, you're a virgin. Jesus can't take you like stars from the church. Came down in full, graduated to the highlight. Ball players, rap stars, addicted to the limelight. Empty your lane, got you feeling like a champion. The city never sleeps, better slip you a champion.
I can't tell. Oh, that one might be on. Oh, that one over there.
Family and friends, thank you for joining us in today's celebration. Since campus is extremely crowded and movement is limited, we kindly encourage you to reconnect with your grad off campus, where it will be easier to find one another and continue the celebration. continue to the new Columbia class. Congratulations to the Columbia class of 2025.
ক্যাম্পাসের অবস্থা খারাপ খুব দরকার আছে আচ্ছা তাহলে তুলতে হবে তাহলে আসতে পারে ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তাহলে এখানে ওই যে হ্যামিল্টনের ওখানে সময় লাগবে my family. I don't know if I'm going home today yet. I'm not sure. I mean, is there who's that next? It's like dinner. Okay.
I'm gonna go see my parents and go back. I'm not going this way. I'm going back. I should have gone this way.
Where's your family? I want to meet them. Let's see.
If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York.
You know, we can go this way, right?
Dude, I literally was lost and then my phone died, so my phone died. I just had to call my mom on Samsung. We did it! So fucking cool, we did it. Oh my god.
no, I can wheel everything.
Oh, there goes.